Hello folks, and welcome to the August 16th, 2015 edition of Decision 2016 Digest. I'm your host, Scott Jones. Some of you may know me. I host a national radio show on the 405 radio out of Los Angeles called Pissed Off Politically Speaking. Some of you may know me from Twitter. I am at Pops Radio. Big week this week since we got together last. A lot of developments around Hillary Clinton and this whole email kerfuffle, if you want to call it that. It is a scandal. The fact that she used a private server during her 4-year tenure as Secretary of State. As we all know, a number of government agencies have been hacked. Most of us who pay attention probably are relatively assured that the Chinese and our enemies probably have all of Hillary's emails. But in any event, she has resisted efforts to turn over the server, and this continues to give rise to criticism of her campaign. So I come up with a title for this week, and I'm going to call this episode Hillary's Hauntings. Why? Because it's getting really, really scary. Not only for her, but as tests have revealed on the 55,000 emails she turned over to the State Department, they picked out randomly just 40 of them, and 4 of the 40 were found to have classified national security level documents or information in them that she used on our private server, exposing us to cracking of our national security secrets. It's becoming more and more serious. There's the political implications and legal implications, but no matter what's said, and the campaign has tried to spin it that she voluntarily turned over this email server that's the subject of this controversy, well, this week the FBI actually seized it. In doing that, it was revealed that a second server exists. Now, she wiped the one clean that had the original emails on it, and that's what the FBI has now. But reports are that the hosting company that she used for this migrated all of those onto a second server, which may exist. And I know it sounds like a yawner, but you know what? You kind of question the judgment of somebody using their own email service for national security stuff as one of the top leaders in our country, as she was as Secretary of State. It questions her judgment and fitness, in my view, to be President of the United States. Why did she do this? Because she's paranoid, and there's always a vast right-wing conspiracy. She put her self-interest and her privacy interests and her ability to conceal her communications ahead of the people's interest and the national security of the United States. But as I said, the FBI seized the private server. The tests have revealed that national security information and top secret information has been exposed by use of that server, and 2 inspectors general, one in national security, one at the State Department, the FBI and the Justice Department are now probing where to go and what the exposure is with this email situation with Hillary Clinton. But make no mistake about it, it all comes back to her, because she is the primary one responsible and would be held responsible for divulging top secret information or exposing it to our enemies who could have easily hacked in to her private server. She was given a government server, a protected server where the people's business should have been done. Instead, she set up this private deal at her own home, exposed national security secrets, and put her self-interest ahead of the United States in doing that. And I just think it is terrible. You know, I said in the last episode or episode before last, it's a drip, drip, drip. Well, it's a drop, drop, drop now. So in any event, you know, my grandmother used to say, what you reap what you sow. You can pick whatever metaphor you want. What goes around comes around. Or my favorite, ain't karma a bitch? But in any event, it's going to come back to haunt her, and we're going to be talking about the hauntings this episode. So there's real legal exposure there. That's what's happened in the investigatory progress. Let's talk about the political impact. Her competitive numbers, a Quinnipiac poll, which is a very respected organization, shows that in key battleground states, that would be Ohio, Florida, and Virginia, There are significant drops in her numbers against her potential GOP competitors. But it's even more disturbing to me is the question of, did she lie about these emails, or do you consider her trustworthy? Her numbers on untrustworthy or she lied about this email situation, 58%, that's almost 6 in 10 Americans believe that Hillary Rodham Clinton has lied and that she is untrustworthy in seeking this political office. So it just, again, it boggles my mind that with those kind of numbers that anyone could be seriously considering her as President of the United States. And we'll talk a little bit more about that, but what is the biggest indicator is the defense of her amongst her Democrat stalwarts is getting more shrill. They're worried. The Democrat elites are worried. They have no real backup plan. Now, this Bernie Sanders, who's a self-described socialist and a registered independent, he's soaring in the polls amongst the Democrat rank and file, the more liberal rank and file. He is getting huge numbers at public appearances, like more people than go see Justin Bieber are showing up to hear Bernie Sanders. And I think he's got a cap of about 30 or 40% though, and is not going to be electable in a general election. But the real thing making the Clinton folks nervous, I believe, is latest reports are that sitting Vice President Joe Biden is running around making phone calls on a potential run to challenge Hillary. Now, that would be a huge shoe to drop from a couple of perspectives. Number one, that'll be a betrayal by the Obama camp in soft pledging their allegiance to Hillary Clinton. But also it'll shake up the Clintons like crazy, because with numbers such as 58% think she's untrustworthy or a liar, is not going to look good if somebody like Joe Biden, who is quasi-credible, challenges her for the nomination. And he is pondering it. He has promised a decision in September. A lot of the pundits think he's a little late to the ball game, but anything could happen. But there's going to be more about this. The other questions that remain on this is just the general Clinton reputation. You know, everybody talks about Bill Clinton being the most popular political figure in the country, most popular ex-president and all that. Yeah, he's great to shake hands with at the cocktail party, but cutting $500,000 or $1.5 million and $4 million or whatever they are speeches with people who hate the United States or have business before the State Department. We're boring you with this email server stuff, but I'm telling you, pay attention to it. It's going to be big. But the other issues of self-dealing and self-interest of the Clintons, I'm telling you folks, from an integrity, ethical standpoint, these are not good people. The question to me becomes, have we become so numb to the notion that people have to have integrity to hold the highest office in the land? And there is example after example after example where the self-interest and the gray area operation, and if not certainly immoral and unethical behavior of Mr. and Mrs. Clinton, those should disqualify them as qualified to hold the highest office in the land. But in any event, it just, you know, we hadn't even gotten to the foundation shenanigans and what the money was used for and how foreign countries were donating while she was Secretary of State. We hadn't even gotten into the Benghazi tragedy where 4 brave Americans died on her watch. She is due to testify in October before the Benghazi Select Committee, but she was asleep at the switch. And that 3 a.m. call, it wasn't even 3 a.m., it came at 5 o'clock in the evening. And she couldn't even rise to the occasion and do what was needed to protect her people on the ground in Benghazi. And if Joe Biden runs, watch the Democratic primary become a free-for-all, because there are other candidates out there, and this is going to upset her apple cart. What is becoming abundantly clear to me is, while everybody said that this was going to be a coronation and she was going to be a walk-away with the nomination for Democrat nominee for president, I don't see it happening if more shoes drop, and I think they will. In other news, real quickly, it looks like the Iran nuke deal is in a little bit of peril. There are a lot of interest groups running ads on it, but also some softness in Congress. The more and more people look at it and the more they read it, it's looking like a bad deal. I don't know that they're going to have enough to overcome a veto if Congress votes against it, but it's getting real close and more people are looking at it. Trump continues to roar, man. Trump is trumping. He's not my guy. I think, and again, so many people have said things about Trump in this race and been wrong about it, yours truly being one of them. I never thought he'd file the paperwork and file the financials. But in any event, he continues to stick around that low 20 area, 20% in the polls, even post-debate. That dropped down to about 22% after the debate. For the reasons we've talked about in previous episodes. But in any event, wonder what his end game is. It'll be interesting to see as the field thins where the voters go. But man, he is the ultimate showman, and that name idea is paying off in his poll numbers right now. What remains to be seen. Fiorina and Carly Fiorina and Ben Carson. Fiorina was the former head of HP, CEO there, and Ben Carson, neurosurgeon, pediatric neurosurgeon. Their numbers have soared since the debate with Fox News, and well so. They have been performing great. I'm a big fan, out of fair disclosure, of Carly Fiorina. If the election were held today, I would vote for her. But good for Ben Carson and good for Carly Fiorina. What comes to mind when I see these numbers is that the electorate, and specifically the GOP electorate, is saying they want somebody new. They want a non-politician. They want an outsider. I think that's why Trump's doing well, Fiorina's doing well, but Fiorina earned it with her performance, but also Ben Carson. All of them are great people, and it's interesting to see it go on. By the way, I'm taking off tomorrow, but if you missed our interview last week with CNN anchor Jake Tapper, it was really a good one. I'm really proud of it. We have it posted on the site, but if you want to listen to the whole show, look down in the description, our address, the405media.com. We're 10 o'clock Eastern, 9 o'clock Central, 7 o'clock on the West Coast. You can hit the link on Monday mornings there. We're going to rerun Jake Tapper, as I said, and it was a great interview. A couple of other things. If you like what we're doing here, please subscribe to the channel or give the video a like. It lets me know that you appreciate the effort we're putting out here. Also, I have a great deal for you down in the description with audible.com. If you want a 30-day free trial and your first book download free, hit the link there and I'll hook you up with that. It's a great deal from audible.com if you like books on tape. In any event, we're going to wrap it up now. Again, subscribe, like the channel, let us know you like what's going on. Until next week, we appreciate every minute you spend with us. Thank you for listening, and we'll see you next time. This is Scott Jones on Decision 2016 Digest. Thanks for watching.